This care home on the outskirts of Arbroath aims to provide a safe environment for youngsters to grow up. But places like this are increasingly in demand. More children are going into care, which means more money for councils to find.
The cost of those individual places is increasing. So the two things together have really resulted in a significant pressure emerging.
In the last financial year, Angus Council's children's services came in around £3.5 million over budget. The authority says in order to fund it, cuts need to be made elsewhere. 2 recycling centres have closed, while locals will soon have to wait a month to see some of their bins collected. These changes haven't gone down well in some communities. How many other public services could soon be under threat?
I would certainly hope to retain as many of the services that we currently carry out as possible. Sometimes decisions are forced on you rather than made out of choice. The recycling changes, for example, they're preempting changes to legislation which we'll need to comply with.
Council cuts aren't unique to Angus. Highland Council faces finding up to £70 million in the next financial year, while in Aberdeen the shortfall could go into 3 figures over the next 4 years. A recent Angus Council paper called for a radical change in how local authorities are funded. It proposed things like new tax-raising powers and reducing the number of services which councils must legally provide. The Scottish Government says it is open to changes in how councils are funded.
We are committed to working in partnership with local government to develop a fiscal framework. So that will provide opportunities to have these discussions as to how, or potentially how, funding for local government could change.
For those who work in social care, their aim is to provide a sense of stability and help youngsters make memories.
If something like this wasn't available, I can only imagine how much more loss and tragedy there would be, or trauma that there would be in these young people's lives.
Every young person deserves a childhood. They deserve to be safe. They deserve to be loved. And this is one place that does happen.
Angus Council's current financial situation is described as adequate, but the authority says without changes in funding, that won't last long. Change may well be on the horizon. To what extent is not yet clear. Callum Clark, STV News.